Today I'm going to be talking about Ayurveda in regards to mewing. For those who aren't aware, Ayurveda is a 3,000-year-old system of medicine that originated in India. Now, the word Ayurveda itself is Sanskrit in origin, coming from the words Ayur, meaning life, and Veda, meaning knowledge. So in Ayurveda, there's a heavy focus on the 5 elements. The 5 elements in Ayurveda are fire, water, earth, air, and yes, there's one more. Yeah, no, this isn't The Last Airbender. Ether. Now, further within Ayurveda, there are the constitutions. So it's in the West we have body types, the soma types. So you have like ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Well, out in the East with Ayurveda, what you have instead are the doshas. So the doshas instead, so we have let's combine first. So water and earth. These guys come together to make the dosha kapha. Kapha is the Western equivalent of endomorph. Air and ether come together to make vata. Vata is the Eastern equivalent of the Western body type ectomorph. And fire, sometimes I see it paired up with water for this type. Usually it's just on its own. Pitta. And pitta is, pitta being the Eastern, and then the Western version of it being mesomorph. And these are the 3 dosha. Man, I really like this visual setup. So dosha. So then these here, those are the dosha. And then of course here we have the 5 elements. I just decided to time travel back in this video to mention something super important. So the whole thing with the dosha and stuff, it's, how do I put this? So while one person may, let's say it's like, okay, you've got somebody who you classify as an ectomorph, so that's vata, like as per Ayurveda. Even though they may be vata, even though they may be an ectomorph, they still have, like the way Ayurveda works, you can't just have these 2 elements in your body. No, you're going to have all 5 elements. But vata is the one, these are the elements you have the most of. So you're still going to have these other elements in you. You're still going to have bits of pitta in you, and you're going to still have bits of kapha in you. But vata is going to be your strongest. So yes, very important. So now that I've given you the little brief lesson on Ayurveda, here's how it relates to mewing. So it's normal amongst dentists and orthodontists. They like to divide the face up horizontally into thirds. So I'm just going to doodle a real quick sketch of a face. Maybe super crappy, but hey, you know what? Who cares? If it works for example purposes, that's great, right? Give him a nice square jawline. There we go. It's just a round blob. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a nose here. Yeah, there we go. Got a nose. Just do a line for lips. Keep it simple. Little eyes. There we go. So the way it works is they divide the face up into thirds. The first third going from the bottom of the chin here. The bottom of the chin, the point of the chin For those who aren't aware, it's known as the Pagonian. In fact, I'm just going to write this out right here. Literally, Pagonian. That is the name of the bottom of the chin, like the point of the chin. Point right beneath the nose, like at the top of the upper lip and beneath the nose there. That is known as the subnasali. So now it's literally, if you were to draw a horizontal line here, so we're going from the Pagonian, and then the subnasali, just like right beneath the nose there, draw a line. That is going to be the first third of the face. The second third, it's going from the subnasali, and then it's up to, what is it called? The glabella? Right, the glabella, which is the point right between the eyebrows. So I'm gonna, let's see, that would be about, yeah, it's probably about right there. So I'm just gonna draw a line right there. That is the second third. And then obviously from the glabella up to the hairline, that is the third of the face. I didn't make that be very visible. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our facial thirds. So now how does Ayurveda connect to this? About time I get to that, right? That's what the whole video is about. So we've got Vata here. So Vata is the first third of the face. So we've got Vata. The second is going to be Pitta. And the third is going to be Kapha. Now, the reason for all of this has to do with the very function of the doshas in and of themselves. So, the best way I can present this to you guys. Imagine we've got a balance, okay? We've got this nice little balance here. And so the fulcrum here, the very fulcrum, is Vata. Vata is the bedrock. It is the foundation. If Vata's not doing good, nothing's doing good. In fact, so then on one end of the scale we have Pitta, on the other we have Kapha. And when you think about it, looking at what Pitta and Kapha are, Pitta being just pretty much fire, and then you've got Kapha, which is water and earth. So it's literally, you've got fire and water here, and then you've got air and ether. So the way this works is if something's wrong with Vata, if it's going a little too much towards Pitta or a little too much towards Kapha, then obviously this scale is going to be balanced. It's going to be imbalanced. One's going to be doing a lot better than the other. So that's where this works in regards to the face here. So I list this out here. We have Vata as the first third of the face. And the reason for this being that this one's the bedrock. If something goes wrong with this, then we will see the second third and even the third third. These are gonna suffer if something goes wrong with this. Now the interesting thing about Vata, let's see, so if we decide to look at the first third, it's looking at it very, just very straightforward and not really analyzing, just really generalizing. It's, the first third consists primarily, it's like you've got the maxilla and then you've got the mandible. Obviously the maxilla does extend up to the second third, but for these purposes, let's just really oversimplify things. It'll help you to get a better idea of what I'm saying here. So we have the maxilla and the mandible. So now if we go back to what exactly the Vata dosha is, we've got air and ether. So what I've found out is that air is specifically linked with the mandible. If I can spell mandible. And ether is specifically linked with the maxilla. So what this means essentially is if somebody has an overbite in which it's like, okay, maxillary development is excellent, but mandibular development not so much, then that means the element air, they are going to be struggling with the element air. This element's not going to be their best element. And what happens, the thing that you're often going to see happen, specifically with an overbite, is that the mid-face ends up recessed. So the second third here, pitta. Pitta is not going to be a super strong dosha within the body. That's not going to be super strong, so that'll be recessed. But then kapha here, the top third, is actually going to be pretty decent. And a lot of this has to do with the simple fact that ether, the maxilla is still good.